You good?
In terms of how I felt watching episodes 5 through 8,
3-8.
No.
Well, how's it going, guys? Andrew here.
And Matt.
Welcome to a review, a reaction.
A reaction review, some might call it, as we like to call it.
For Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Ooh,
The-
season
8,
7?
6, 5, 4?
The last season.
Just call it the final season of Star Wars: The Clone Wars, the animated series, originally on Cartoon Network, and now obviously Disney owns it. So this final season was on Disney Plus. The finale premiered on May the 4th, and we watched the last 2 episodes, and then watched Revenge of the Sith. And
Shout out to Jacob Comstock.
good idea.
Great idea.
So what we're gonna do here, full spoilers, because we're going to talk massive shit, and then we're gonna be sucking its dick.
praise the fuck
Yeah.
out of it.
So yeah, you've been warned. If you don't, non-spoiler really quick. First 4 episodes, they're decent. The next 4, they're awful. The last 4,
God dear.
so go watch it if you can. So here we go. The first arc that we get is with the clones. We get to just hang out with Cody and Rex and their just group one last time, and we get to meet the Bad Batch. These group of clones that aren't really clones.
They have they're
They're like defected clones.
yeah, but
So-
I wouldn't say defective. They have enhancements. I can't remember if they were voluntary enhancements or if the Kamonians were just this guy's gonna be super fucking big. This guy can hit a shot from anywhere,
Yeah. I mean, regardless, they're just, these new characters that were introduced in this season. And they're cool. They look cool. They have a little banter. And I felt it within it. And you got to see how they work together. And how they, they don't really like working with the regular clones. Because, your guys are just clones. You don't really have personalities. Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Don't say that to them. But what I liked about this arc is that we get to see all the clones hanging out, and we get to see them hanging out with Anakin, with Obi-Wan. We get to see just them doing some little fun things.
And a little bit of Mace Windu.
A little bit. I guess what I really didn't care for, I didn't need resolution on Echo. Did you? Did you know that he was alive?
Honestly, it had been so long since I had seen the rest of the season that I kind of forgot.
Right?
So it was just I thought he died.
Yeah, he's alive? That's a twist.
Yeah.
I think that's the twist of the first episode of this season is that he's alive. And then they go out, they try to find him, they go to that satellite thing, and then they find him, then they're escaping, and there's this whole thing with this planet. They don't want to start a war, but then they end up starting a war, and that was a pretty cool battle.
Yeah.
But then
they were the droids on that planet were different too. They were they weren't your average droids, and they could fly. It was pretty cool, but it was also
they
just
fly now.
it was the only time that we saw them, so it was huh.
It's Disney just making more toys. And so those 4 episodes come to an end, and you're kind of just sitting there, and you're like, this is the final season, and I'm not feeling it.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling it yet. So then we pick up with episode 5, and it's Ahsoka, and you're like, oh, okay, here we go. Ahsoka, obviously, this is the whole Clone Wars is revolving around her and her journey, and now she's running away from the Jedi. She doesn't want to be a part of it. I'm so excited to see what Ahsoka is going to do in this season. Literally nothing. Ahsoka is so wasted in these 4 episodes. I honestly would say, yeah, these 4 episodes. Yeah, she's pretty good in the last 4, but these 4 episodes,
They were tough.
it's not my cup of tea. needless to
Honestly, the
say.
only one that you would really need to watch is the last episode 8.
But it's still not even that good.
No, but it's kind of
It's important.
it's the only episode that Annie has real ties to the overarching story.
It's going to connect what the last 4 episodes are going to do,
Yeah.
and why she escaped. You're not why she's hiding. So pretty much, we meet these 2 sisters. One is a mechanic. One is she wants to be a wannabe drug lord, and they're just going out there doing these missions, and Ahsoka crashes her motorcycle, and she's like, yo, help me out, sis. All right, you're not my sis. And like the first episode, like stupid little tedious tasks, and like Ahsoka's like trying not to use the Force because she doesn't want to show that she's a Jedi, and I'm like, you're eventually gonna have to. To be fair, the way it's revealed is not how I thought it was gonna go down.
Yeah.
I kind of liked it, but at the same time, the two sisters, the voice actors they're just reading lines. It sounds like they're not giving any emotion. I don't think they had one single good line that I liked.
Yeah.
Like, they can't take my ship. They
Not
can't
my
take
ship,
it. They
and then
can't take my ship.
Jettisons all the fucking spice that they're carrying.
So stupid. And it's frustrating because, like I said, the first 4 episodes, they're decent. And you're like, okay, this is the final season. Let's kick into it. And then these 4 episodes is literally a screeching halt. There's one episode you could skip. You pointed it out that there's one reason why this episode was even made, or why it's relevant, is because we are teased of the Mandalorians are hunting down Ahsoka. And regardless, I think everybody watching this knows the episode we're talking about. They are there. It starts in prison and it ends with them back in prison. And then the next episode literally begins with them leaving prison.
Yeah.
And I'm like, goodness, like this was such a waste of an episode. And the goat dude, so stupid. And I guess the cool thing about now knowing when you're watching the last 4 episodes, what's cool about that alien leader is that he's working for Darth Maul.
Yeah.
And so that he's one of the underground drug lords that Maul is working with, that he teases in Solo.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that, because Paul's character, I don't know his name from Solo. Do you remember his name?
I do not.
But, he makes a very small cameo in this. He's a hologram for just like a quick 2 or 3 seconds. Blink and you'll miss it. But we had him, then we had the other alien guy that we spent a lot of time with, and then there's one more.
There was 2 more, I think.
There was
3 holograms plus the... I don't know. I can't remember the alien's name. That's how bad those 4 episodes were.
So there was 4 people pretty much all talking and hanging out, 4 or 5. And what gets me excited is obviously when you're going into this, Ahsoka lives, Darth Maul lives, which is Disney shooting themselves in the foot. But that's okay. The Obi-Wan series needs to be Darth Maul and his drug lord. And we need to see them in live action. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
And then Obi-Wan just kind of maybe taking them out one by one. But we'll get to that at the end, kind of theorizing about that, because I think this Clone Wars series definitely is going to connect to the Obi-Wan series.
Yeah.
And so, needless to say, the middle 4 episodes, they're really rough. They're really boring. Matt and I, honestly, I think it was episode 6.
Yeah.
We decided, fuck this. We're not going to watch it.
Not until the rest of the series.
Yeah, we were just going to binge it in one day and watch it all together. And then Jacob said, he's like, dude, these last 4 episodes, the last 2 episodes have been amazing. You guys have to watch them. And I was like, And then he gave us the idea. He's like, we're watching the last 2 episodes plus Revenge of the Sith. And I was like, shit, I guess we can do that. So we ended up catching up. And let me tell you,
as soon as that fucking green Lucasfilm Limited popped up on the screen, I was like, whoa.
And then it fades away. And then it's Star Wars The Clone Wars in red text.
And I was just like, whoa.
And it's cold, it's silent, it just fades away, and then you're just jumping into the action. It's literally the beginning of episode 3, and the ships are flying around.
Just the way that the announcer was I can forget what his name is, but it's the same guy who's been doing the opening for every Star Wars The Clone Wars.
He's the character, and he's always on the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just fuck, he's even into these fucking 4 episodes, because his energy was just different, and you were just like, yeah.
And so, but then we only get that intro in the first episode, because every episode after that, it's a cold opening.
Yeah.
And I love how it says part 1.
Yeah.
Part 2. And you're just like, this is something completely different. Where has this been the entire season, Disney? These last 4 episodes do not disappoint.
No.
It literally feels like a movie. It sounds like a movie. The actors are giving it their all. The fact that Jacob pointed it out, that Ray Park came back, the performer of Darth Maul in episode 1, comes back to do the motion capture. So when you're seeing Maul and Ahsoka fight, you know, that's Rey like doing the actual flips and everything. It's just really cool that they got to capture that. And like when the window explodes and the battle's just going around, I'm just like, this is a season of like, this is a finale right here.
And like the smoke and the embers were flying around the room, and you're just like, this is a totally different feel. I'm here for this. I really wish the rest of the season could have been like this, but the fact that we're here now makes me appreciate just how much I love Star Wars and how awesome I am in, like how awesome it is to live in a time where we can experience this.
Absolutely. Because when it came to this, like these last 4 episodes, you open up with Obi-Wan and Anakin. And it's a very smart thing to do that because you know they're not going to really be in these next 4 episodes because this is slowly tying into episode 3. So obviously they're doing their own stuff. So it's cool that we get to see what they're doing before they go save Palpatine, you know? Yeah. And so like knowing that like when they said that, like when Ahsoka's like, wait, no, like you have to go like help me. And he's like, no, but like the Chancellor's in trouble. And I'm like, ooh, we're connecting it to episode 3.
And then they're just like, well, I'll take the 501st Legion. And it's like, well, we have to go to this planet. And then they're just like, well, what if we just split the 501st in half, promote Captain Rex to Commander Rex, send him with Ahsoka as an advisor. Done.
And like, I didn't like roll my eyes. Like I'm just like, it makes sense to me.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
It was a very clever way to keep Ahsoka and Captain Rex out of the events that take place during episode 3. Because when Anakin storms the Jedi Temple, he brings the 501st.
Yep.
Like that's his battalion. So
it makes a lot. It's really cool. Like it makes a lot of sense. They really thought about that, like trying to figure out how to make these loopholes. And then later on, it's nice that Anakin gives Ahsoka this little smaller saber.
Yeah.
So it hits you home at the very end. And so you're watching the first 2 episodes and you're kind of like, okay, the big battle's over. When's Order 66 hidden?
Yeah.
And in the 3rd episode, like, and you knew, you're just like, fuck, Rex he, as much as he is a character, he is still a clone trooper. Like, he is Commander Cody. Like, he is going to turn and he's going to try to kill, like his best friend.
No matter how close he is to these people.
Oh my gosh, dude, he was shedding tears. I was like,
dude.
Like, there's so much more emotion in this.
I really thought because Rex had just shown himself to be such a strong character throughout the series, I thought he was going to be able to fight it.
And that's what I love that he wasn't. It just was a part of him. It was just this chip that was inside of him. And the fact that he's like, I have to do it. Like, I have to, like, do it. I can't have any of you else kill her. And they all go into a little room, and Revenge of the Sith score is playing, and they're all shooting around, and she escapes, and you're just like, here we go. Like, this is like a, you know, cat and mouse hunt now. Like, they're pretty much just trying to find Ahsoka, and Maul's, and this whole time you're wondering how Maul is going to escape, because you know he escapes. And Caleb called it. I wouldn't really say it's a team up. It's more of a distraction. It's more, hey, I'm going to use you as bait, pretty much. You're going to be able to escape, so then I can try to fix Rex.
Yeah.
So she lets him go. He goes and does his own thing. She goes and fixes Rex. She has these cute little droids helping her out.
I really like those interactions.
The one that like that can do the salute and everything. He's adorable. Sadly, they all die.
I can't remember what was the sound effect that he made.
Dude, it was so goofy. Yeah, it was like a lower like R2 noise. It was pretty funny. And that was a really intense scene when they were trying to find the chip in Rex.
Yeah.
And they just kept barricading the door and trying to hold it down, but then they keep opening it. And it's like, oh my gosh, let's fix him. And dude, I honestly, for a second, when he held the gun up,
I was like, oh man.
I was like, I know Ahsoka lives, but like they could still do something where like she gets shot.
Yeah.
And like is wounded, and then like we think she's dead, but like nope, Rex is fine. He's not with them. Which also is really hard on his point, where now he sees all of his brothers and they are all like, dude, we gotta kill the Jedi. And like Rex is just level headed. He's like, why?
Yeah.
Like, we're not bad people. Like, we have these chips in us. And it was sad, like when he was like pinned up against Jesse.
Yeah.
Like,
Jesse has been around for a while too.
Yeah.
So like we kind of had like an emotional connection with him. Not as much as Rex, but still.
Nowhere
like,
clear. But he's definitely up there as like the notable clone troopers that you get to know in the series.
Like, definitely like top 10, I would say.
So like when he is put up against and being like, Rex, I'm going to have to like shoot you. And
Yeah.
he's like, oh my gosh,
And he's
brotherhoods are being broken here.
Yeah.
And like this is the final episode.
Like rolling back a little bit, like
Yeah, go
before
for it.
they even like come face to face with Jesse, like that scene where they're in the bridge, like trying to find like a usable shuttle, and they only find the one, and then all the doors open up and the entire battalion just rushes out onto the flight deck.
Yeah.
And Rex is just like he's like just trying to figure out some way to like that either they both can get off, or at least Ahsoka can like get off. And she's like, well, I don't want to hurt them anymore because like that's not what I'm trying to do. Like
Mhm.
they're brainwashed, but I'm not gonna kill them. And he's like, well, they're gonna kill you. And like then she took off his helmet, and he was crying. She was like, Rex, you're a great soldier. And I was like, wow, it's woo.
Making a grown man cry over there.
But goddamn, I mean, it's a shame that these last 4 episodes held such a heavy weight when this whole season could have been so fantastic. But
Yeah. And like, we'll kind of talk about like just the whole wrap it up, but like with the final episode, the ship is crashing, and like you said, they're just trying to escape. So Ahsoka and Rex don't die, and they get out. It's a pretty cool, intense scene of it just crashing into the planet, and like Ahsoka trying to grab onto the ship and everything, and they land, and it's very touching. Like at first, like I joked about it being like LOL, like Ahsoka didn't want to kill any of the clone troopers, but then they all died. But at least they didn't die by their hands.
yeah, it was more so Maul destroying the hyperdrive system, which
Yeah.
caused the ship. First of all, when that ship came out of hyperspace,
Ooh,
and it
it
was
was
already
demolished
just
pretty much.
like smoking and burning, and you're just like, fuck. Oops.
Yeah. So Maul escapes. He's gone. He's like, I'm gonna go appear in Solo. And we land on the planet, and Ahsoka she has that feeling. She feels Anakin, and she feels that he's been turning to the dark side.
Yeah.
That happens there, right, on the planet, or
No, that happened when they were in hyperspace,
in hyperspace.
and then Order 66 started happening.
Okay, so that was how it happened.
Because
But
it was the scene where Windu had gone to confront Darth Sidious,
Mhm.
and he had him at lightsaber point, but Sidious was like lightning him and everything. And the whole speech, Anakin was like, "No, I need him alive to save Padme," and that's what Ahsoka was feeling during
Mhm.
that moment. And then that's when Order 66 started happening. Darth Maul broke out, destroyed hyperspace, jumped out of
Gotcha.
hyperspace, ships crumbling, crashes into planet.
So Rex is able to bury his squad,
Yeah, both of them. And just,
which it's a nice way to write them out. It is really sad.
I mean, like putting all their helmets on stands and everything. It was just, fuck.
Yeah. And Ahsoka's in her cloak, and you're just like, she's got to go into hiding somehow.
Yeah.
She's got to go somewhere, And it fades away, and then the planet is during the winter. It's all snowy and stuff, and we see some stormtroopers. This is
No troopers.
yeah. This is now in the era of the Sith. Vader is walking around, and he walks over to the helmets, and he looks down, and he sees the little lightsaber because Ahsoka dropped the smaller one, not her original one, and he holds it, and you realize like he has nothing left. Like
Yeah.
he at this point he's just like my only chance is to like find my children, and he doesn't know where they are. So it's pretty. It was heavy hitting, and that final shot of the clone trooper helmet and Vader just walking away and seeing his reflection.
Yeah.
Just that's how you end it. That's how you end the Clone Wars. Like it's over. The Clone Wars is done. It's a new like time in this universe, and so it was very satisfying. And then immediately you just press back on Disney Plus, you scroll, you press play, and you watch episode 3, and then you get a different perspective of it.
Yeah.
And like you said, overall the season, it's when you look at the season as a whole, like I don't think anybody's ever really gonna want to watch the first 8 episodes. Like, I could see you maybe watching the first 4, but you're just gonna want to watch these final 4 episodes, which makes me just wish that they would have just made these 4 episodes into like a mini series and made them like an hour each, and we could have just delved deeper, taken elements maybe of the Bad Batch and maybe of the sisters and sprinkled it in there, but not give like 2 hours to those arcs and give 2 hours to this arc that deserved to be like 4 hours long.
Yeah. So
overall, it was fun to hate watch it. It was bittersweet and amazing to watch the last 4 episodes. And at the end of the day, it is really nice that we got this final season, because
yeah,
it really brings everything. It makes the show feel complete, because like, you know, the show ended and you're like, okay, I mean, I guess, you know, it ends with Revenge of the Sith, but here you get to finally see the show conclude as well. So instead of just being like, oh yeah, just watch Revenge of the Sith, that's the ending. It's like, no, here's like a definitive ending for the show itself. So yeah, do you have any more final thoughts about it?
I mean, hindsight is always 20/20. We always really want to talk about how we wish things were different. We wish episode 1 didn't exist, episode 2 wasn't so shitty, and that we just had like, you know, a full episode just based on like the war. We wish that we didn't have these 2 sisters, but overall, the fact that we've had 2 Star Wars The Clone Wars series able to expand the backstory and the history between Anakin and Obi-Wan, and then with this new Clone Wars between Anakin and Ahsoka, you know, it's just...
Yeah, introducing a beloved character, Ahsoka, to the fact when the rumor, it's still not official, that she is appearing in Mandalorian Season 2, and everybody was so excited to see this character who we've only known as a cartoon, and to see her be brought back to life. We've seen our live action go to cartoons, so it's cool to see a cartoon character become real. So I'm really excited to see that unfold in the second season. I think it's actually confirmed Ahsoka's in it. It's just not confirmed that Rosario Dawson is playing her, correct?
I believe so.
That's it. And then I guess Maul in the Obi-Wan series, and I really hope it is more about his story and him just gaining control of the underground, and he's like, I'm just going to do my own thing while the Sith does theirs. Because I mean, that's what the, like, is it going to be just once like season of Obi-Wan? Do we know?
I hope not. I'm hoping for like 3 seasons.
Right?
3 to 5.
3 to 5. That's
maybe
it.
Like
it's
one.
Always the nice comfort zone for
one
shows.
Per drug warlord.
Yeah, and then a final,
like 1 or 2 for Maul, and then like, you know, conclude it with, I don't know, some way to tie it into episode 4. Just, you know.
Yeah, definitely like have him like feel like he's like, you know what, my job is done.
Yeah,
I did it. And also, we were watching episode 3, and at the end when Yoda is like, I'm gonna go send you off and for training, you know, and you're gonna meet like your master again. And I look at Matt and I'm like, dude, what if they bring Liam Neeson for an episode as a ghost? Oh my gosh, I would lose my shit.
that'd be pretty fucking cool.
But yeah, do you have any more final thoughts?
I don't want to grade this.
Oh yeah, I don't really grade shows. It's either just like I loved it or it's okay or
it's hard to put a grade on the series as a whole and on this last season as a whole. I just fucking love Star Wars so goddamn much, dude. I'm just
Star Wars
so
too.
happy.
And all because of one line. Like, can you think about people back in 77 when they were seeing the original Star Wars and Obi-Wan just name dropped the Clone Wars?
Yeah.
And now this is what we've had. We've had games, TV shows, comics, you know, just everything about the Clone Wars. So it just shows you how awesome they are. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. So
yeah,
I'm good. You good?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, this has been Andrew
and Matthew.
Peace.
We love you.